What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Teen It Up podcast. I'm your host, AC, with DFS Karma and Bet Karma. As always, I got Sam Sherman with me. We're going to talk everything. Last week, big tournament with Max Homa coming through in the clutch. Playoff matchup with Finau. We'll get into the details. Definitely a little bit tough, probably, to start talking golf and the funness of last week. Sam just got this Tiger news, so we don't know much other than he's hurt, so praying for Tiger. Kind of puts a damper a little bit on the podcast, but we'll get through it. So, yeah, last week, man, Max Homa, massive win. He played lights out from start to finish. I mean, I was in a golf trip in Florida, and it was awesome, by the way. As you can see for the YouTube family, I'm extremely burnt. My nose is peeling, so I'm scary to look at right now. But I didn't get to see much golf other than the highlights. Maybe you can speak further. Apparently, he had some incredible holes on, I think it was Friday into Saturday. So the fact that he just continued to plug away with all those horses and close it out really puts the staple on who he's become. I mean, he's a guy, he's won at Quail, and now another big win last week. Finau, obviously, words can't describe, man. Second place finish again. I had outright tickets at Bet Karma for subscribers. So, yes, we did hit with Max Homa. We also had Finau as well. So, big winner there. I had a massive win in DFS. We'll get into that. But if you want to talk about Tiger real quick, go ahead. If not, talk to me about the tournament, because you probably watched more than me since I was gone all weekend. I landed as the playoffs was starting. So, how'd your DFS week go, betting week?
Yeah, I don't know. It was tough because I knew kind of you with the smaller field and everything, I ended up having 4-6 in cash, which, I mean, I don't know why I played Charles Howell. I was like, maybe he'll be okay. He shot like 1,000 on Thursday. I mean, I wasn't as pissed because the only other guys I was considering was like Doug Gim, who also missed the cut. So I guess it wouldn't have really mattered anyway. But I had a 6-6 to help me like just about break even on the week. But yeah, dude, I mean, respect to Homa. I mean, that's the kind of thing where I saw, okay, he's from the area, he's playing really well, but I was like, yeah, I don't know if he can win in this stacked of a field. I mean, good on him for doing it. Finau, I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know what to say at this point. It's funny I give Finau a lot of crap for not being a winner, but someone said, and it's so true, it's not like he choked it. He shot 64 on Sunday and then lost. It's not like he shot 78 and blew the lead.
He's laughing all the way to the bank at the end of the day. I mean, who cares? He's top 5 every week. He's going to win. You and I both know that, and he will win multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, I will say quick. I mean, obviously, I feel ill about the Tiger thing. I just hope he's okay. The only thing I'll say is I hate people who kind of the first thing is, there's, of course, a chance, assuming he's okay, that, it had something to do with a drugs or painkillers or alcohol, but I don't really think that should be the forefront of all the news coverage that's going to happen over the next, couple weeks. But I just hope obviously I want to see him play, but I just want him to be alive for, his kids.
Yeah.
So
sucks, dude.
That's all I got to say. I just think it's just funny. The first thing people go to is attacking the previous drug usage, and it's okay, but
it's just so weird because the freaking HBO special that launched in not too long ago, we all saw that. It's I feel like it's not over yet, Jesus, I thought that I don't know, it's frustrating to talk about, but anyways, let's get through it. Let's talk some golf. WGC, Workday, we're in Florida, not Mexico. Obviously, COVID changed some things. I think there's only 72 golfers. If you're listening and you like to read things, head to dfskarma.com and betkarma.com. Sam has incredible, thoughtful, very laid out, article every week, and it kind of gives you the details of the course fit, and some of the players that will look at both, good plays, leverage, and who to fade. So check that out. And then Steven, who was with us in the past, is writing now a betting article each week. And of course, you can tail Sam and I's bets themselves in the premium channel, which you can access and unlock at betkarma.com. Just go to premium, click subscribe. Again, I don't like being that guy coming on these podcasts, Sam, but I'm just shooting straight here with you. You know you're my dog, but my God, here we are again. I'll say the same thing. This run will not continue. I will lose several weeks. I don't even understand. This is what my 5th win of the year. You've had several as well, but yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, people are winning. People are tailing in the Golf Channel. We've had amazing wins. And again, Max Homa, congrats to all those that tailed 65. I saw some 70-1 ticket winners at Bet Karma. I actually had Finau as well for more money, but again, I was happy with both of them getting there. So we did it again, man. And then DFS, my core play, your core play, we both had 6 of 6. Talk about a comforting feeling. I mean, I was on a golf trip, like I said, 6 of 6. I didn't even care. It's like I knew I was going to cash, and you knew that too. It didn't even matter at that point because I think it was
one of those things where I had a 6 of 6, and I was like, I'm not going to hit double ups, but this should get me almost break evens. It's whatever. I mean, the only thing that sucked for me was, dude, oh my God, Neiman. Like, I don't know if he was like hung over on Saturday, but he shot a million on Saturday and like took himself out of everything. He was my like one and done, my favorite play. And like through 2 days, I was like, all right, here we go. And then all of a sudden he bogeyed. I mean, that wind was something, I mean, that's the last thing we could touch on. The wind was crazy where I guess everybody was that bad and they kind of had to stop it. But like that entire tournament would have changed if they just had to play through that wind, because that was the whole thing, was the leaders were going to get the worst of it. But
yeah, I mean, those scores were off the charts. I actually took a quick look at Neiman's stats as well while you were talking. His iron game was atrocious. I mean, he's volatile at times, so just be careful. I actually freaking bet him this week, but I put like, a couple sprinkles on him. I saw him 50-1, and I saw him spiking this past week. So we'll get into that real quick. I want to start off with the core. We've been doing this every week. The core I provided: John Rahm, Tony Finau, Victor Hovland, Cameron Tringali. I mean, they all literally went off, quote unquote, from a DFS perspective. So that put me in a good position. And my fill-ins were Brandon Steele and Matthew Naismith. We talked about Naismith a lot, actually, the last few weeks. He did his thing at T20. You need guys like that. Like, I was considering Doug Gim, just like you were as well. And ultimately, I went with Naismith. I mean, it was kind of a coin flip, to be honest. And Steele didn't really do much. But again, 6 of 6, you get some points on the weekend. You move on. And yeah, I came in freaking second in a couple of the qualifiers. So I had a really good week. I mean, looking at it right now.
Things are back to normal. Things are back to normal with you finishing runner-up in the qualifiers.
Yes, runner-up qualifiers. I'm going at it again. There's a huge one coming up for the PGA Championship, or excuse me, the TPC Sawgrass coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to qualify for that $7,000 tournament. Anyways, let's get into this week. What are you looking at course fit-wise? I just came from Florida. The winds were brutal down there as well. So I have a feeling we're going to see windy conditions yet again. But what are we looking at course-wise? And then just start up top, Can't Lane above it, $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing kind of go off, and I put in my article and I have I did basically like a course fit, which I try to find like course fit guys every week, but with no course history, it's kind of like, I think a lot of people do the same, which could lead to a lot of concentrated chalk, which also then leads to like kind of interesting pivots where, I mean, it's kind of longer. The par fives look pretty brutal. And so I think par five scoring is something I look at sometimes. It can be kind of noisy, but just based on how Nicklaus designs courses, and around the green is always tough, and there's so many bunkers, that I think that's something that you should weigh is par five scoring, sand saves around the green, getting up and down, because yeah, it could be a birdie fest with a lot of wedges, but I think that it could end up playing a lot tougher than we think. I think the birdies are still out there, and there's a lot of, I like the risk reward aspect, but I think looking at courses and guys have done well, like Bay Hill, which is Darryl Palmer, which actually I think is next week. The Honda Classic, which is another Nicklaus course. And then, looking at something like Sawgrass is kind of a good way to start to differentiate. Stats, I don't know what you're looking at. I mean, I'm kind of pretty basic ones, like I do with courses we don't know. I mean, like the approach off the tee and everything like that. And then, like I said, I'm just adding in on a higher weight than I thought, like around the green and sand saves and stuff like that. So it's a loaded field. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, loaded field, again, quick game theory. This is going to be an even shorter podcast tonight. Listen, I mentioned this in the premium channel, DFS Karma. Sam, you can chime in if you agree, disagree, whatever. This is a field where I am not playing a ton of lineups because there's a lot of less strategy. Let's just say that. I mean, everybody makes the cut. Everybody's scoring. So, again, I've been having success with one lineup personally again, and then MME, and that's been my thing. I probably won't even MME this week, only with 72 golfers. You can play guys in the 6K range. Do you agree with that statement this week?
I would never. I think the one thing is I would never be, try to stack like DJ, Rom, Cantlay,
right,
and then play like all bottom six. But I agree, you can take two. I mean, my thing is more, I just personally don't really play cash games and double ups. Not that you can't win, but I just think the biggest edge in cash games is with the cut, and with no cut, it's kind of like
totally agree. Agree. With that being said, here's what I'm looking at up top this week. Maybe it's just me seeing everything this year better than last, whatever. I'm going right back to John Rahm. I played him in my main lineup last week. I talked about it a lot in the podcast last week. It's nothing against everybody else. We're not going to give away all our bets, but Sam and I really like JT hanging on the books at like 20-1, 18-1. So I think JT is an awesome bet this week. But I'm going John Rahm. That's who I'm anchoring my main lineup around, and it's not even a debate. That's where I'm going this week, and then I will go down to the next tier to grab somebody else. So that's what I'm doing with my main lineup this week.
Yeah, I like Rahm a lot too. I mean, we can just keep, like, we could almost just play the clip every week, where last week is the same thing. It's like Rahm seems to not even like be playing his top stuff, and then once again last week, very quietly on Sunday, like finished top 5 for the tournament. Like he shot several under.
Top 5. I mean, it's like you want a guy that's going to top 5. Okay, give me John Rahm. I mean, that's where I'm at. Of course, there's DJ. DJ's obviously better. He just tends to give up. Here, let me run through everybody why I'm a little bit down on everyone else. DJ tends to give up if he's not winning towards the end. The X-Man, who I love, and you have come around to as well. We both come around to him. I've noticed at least this year he's not as good with his short irons. I don't know. Maybe that's just like something I picked up on. And you already mentioned it in your article. I kind of want some of the guys with their wedge game. That's why I like JT a little bit this week. Rory is just, I don't understand, man. Like, I love him, but show me something, dude. Like, moving on. Cantlay.
I will say, this is, I got to cut you off. This is more of a narrative probably. I do like Rory coming off a miscut where.
He plays Florida well.
I mean, I don't know. No, I mean, like, he's super good on Bermuda. I mean, he's won Bay Hill. He obviously, I will say, I don't know who posted it, but it's like similar. The stats of like JT and Rory after their missed cuts, their like finishes after are like insane. I mean, Rory, I just feel like, I mean, last week, okay, quote unquote, he didn't have it. But like Friday, I can't remember exactly, but I think he made like a double early on. He was like 5 over, and I think he was probably like, I'm not, like, whatever. He's like, because he's like DJ. I mean, they're not playing to rack up their add to their trophy just for wins. Like, they want to have big, or they don't want to rack up top 5s. They want wins. So I don't know. I do like Rory. I actually think he could be more on, but Cantlay, I think Cantlay, if I was playing cash games, is probably where I'd start. I think he just is playing so well. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
it's
again,
weird. Like, I think you could make a case for every guy.
Most weeks, I will agree with you. I'd probably continue to pay down, but like, I just want Rahm. I want the guaranteed top 5. I'll figure something else out. I don't even care which guy I kind of land on at this point. We'll get into the 6-7K range because they're all making the cut. It's honestly a little bit of luck this week. Again, we've already talked about it. We don't need to keep talking about it. But a couple of the 6-7K guys do well and you're on them and you have a guaranteed John Rahm, like, you're going to cash. That's the way I'm looking at it. All right, let me steal the next range, and then you can take the reins after that. I'll be very quick with these guys. I love Morikawa. Love him. DFS, I don't know if he's going to make my main lineup, but I'm not opposed to it. I think he's playing better than people think. He's, of course, just struggling as always with the putter, but like Morikawa, like we joked about it in Bet Karma, he's always, I don't know, 35-1. I mean, Jesus, like, okay, I'll just bet it. Maybe I won't have him in DFS. Love Victor Hovland. He's just playing lights out. Last year, we said he kind of looks like Rory Light with his stats, and he's now progressed kind of to that, and his price is probably fair. I'll probably try and play Hovland. He's just absolutely on fire. And then, I'm sorry, I can't stop playing him, and I won't stop playing him. I'm playing Tony Finau in my main lineup. It's not even a debate. He's going to win soon. He's top fiving just like Rahm every tournament. He ranks first in my model. I'm going right back to Finau, and I'm hoping, Sam, I'm praying that there's a little bias of, oh, Finau can't win. Oh, look, he came in second again. I'm not playing him. You know those people. They do exist in DFS. I have a sneaky feeling he's going to be a little bit suppressed this week because he's 9,800. People are just assuming that he won't do it again. So I'm going right back to Finau. I'm starting with Finau and Rahm, and I'm going from there.
Yeah, I've gotten over the thing. I used to just never play Finau because I was like, he's not a winner. He's always overpriced. But as you're kind of saying, it's true. I mean, if he's going to be that price, I mean, he's finished top 5 in his last 3 tournaments, therefore paying off his salary in every single one. I like Finau. Yeah, I'm not playing Bryson again. I'm just going to keep it. He doesn't look like he's, again, if he goes out and win by 5, I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's not even that surprising. But his wedges aren't that good. I think he'll get overowned because people will see that he won this NCAA championship in 2015 here, which I don't know why that would even matter. But my favorite plays in this range, I love Terrell Hatton. He is playing like so well he's 5th in the world right now, and he's the 9th highest priced golfer. I like him. I think there's always merit to playing Patrick Reed in any big field event just because he's Patrick Reed and he shows up. But I totally agree with you that Morikawa is my favorite play of the week. He will be in my main lineup. I bet him like you did. I mean, last week, he's not a great putter, but I don't foresee him losing 8 strokes putting again. I don't even know how you do that. That's like Keegan Benyon status.
If he gets hot, if he gets like not hot, but just like warm with the putter, he'll be top 10.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just think I think I put in my article where, I just don't play Brooks because I never get him right and he burns me. But like, I just like Morikawa. Like, I like him more than Fleetwood, and I like him more than Brooks. I like him more than Bryson. So it's like, not even that those guys are bad plays. I just prefer Morikawa, and he's cheaper. I mean, I think even though he hasn't had his absolute best stuff, I mean, he's like the 15th highest priced guy, and that's ridiculous to me. So, moving down, I assume you're just going to play Fleetwood because you're a Fleetwood fan. I'm no interest.
I'm not, only because like I haven't been seeing him. I don't know what's going on. I know he's playing in Europe, but I'm not playing that game. Like, yes, you're right. Historically, I do. Just the way that I'm kind of building my roster, I already alluded to. I'm starting with Rahm and Finau. So that kind of leaves me kind of jammed in between like this middle range. Like I might go for a Morikawa if I can make it fit. I might go for there's a couple other guys we'll get to. Like I like Scotty. I don't know if I'll be able to fit him, but yeah, I probably won't be going there.
Yeah, I love Scotty Scheffler. I really obviously like Sung J M. I think he'll be popular, but it's funny. He took 2 weeks off, but we haven't seen him in years because he took those 2 weeks. I've never seen him take that much time off. But
dude, based on your article, honestly, dude, I mean, this is why I'm leaning like the Rahm, Finau, like even a Hovland type of combo. Like I want the guys like you're stressing par 5 scoring. I don't know much about this course, but then you're also like, again, these are just hidden tricks I've developed. At least I'm not the only one, but this is just how I think when I'm making my DFS lineup, how you're explaining there's a couple par 4s that are attackable in a 4-day event where there's no cut. It's like, give me the Hovlands and the Finaus, the guys who actually can put it on and maybe eagle. Those DraftKings points mean so much more than what place differential you come in. Like, I don't even care what place these guys come in. I'm just trying to think who's scoring on par 5s this week. Okay, it's Finau, it's Rahm, it's Hovland, honestly, even Morikawa.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I think the kind of guy you want is exactly like, I mean, he's not playing well, and so I'm probably not going to do it because I don't know what's going on with him. But like Hideki or like Scotty Scheffler, they can be like tied for 41st and then go out on Saturday and shoot like 62. Like that, just like some guys don't do that, some guys can. I mean, a guy like I never play him. I like Fitzpatrick. I don't see him doing that, but he's just consistent. It's such a good Bermuda putter. I need to kind of let my biases go there. But it's weird. Like I think there's, like I was saying earlier about a lot of the chalk being condensed. It's funny. I don't think anyone's going to own Max Homa, and he just won because he's tired.
And he's rated so high, 7th in my model. Yep. I mean, he's, the narrative, he's tired, he won, he celebrated, he partied.
Yeah, no. I mean, Hideki's going to be low owned because he's playing terrible. Adam Scott's going to be low owned. I think Neiman, I'm interested in your thoughts on Neiman. I was all over him last week. He made the cut, but he kind of burned me. I know you like him, but I think he's going to be super chalk as well because he's probably underpriced a little bit.
Again, not to give away all the bets on the pod, but at Bet Karma, I did put a sprinkle. He's one of my sprinkle bets of the week, only because I see what you see. Like, I've been watching him for weeks. Like, he is the type of guy that he will win, like, in a 50-1 tournament. He's got the game, but he seems volatile. I mean, he's probably a really good DFS play this week as well. I probably won't own him in my main lineup, but I did bet him only because I think he's definitely got the upside to just win.
I think, getting this range, I don't know. I think people will be smarter than I first thought. I think Justin Rose will get some ownership because he is definitely too cheap. I know he had a bad 2020, but he just came runner up, I think. Justin Rose,
for sure.
I really like Jason Day as a GPP target. I mean, he's going to just go out and come top 5 or miss the cutter, in this case, come near the last. But he's so good on the green. He's such a good putter. When he gets things dialed in, I mean, he's still good off the tee. And I think he's a good wedge player. And I mean, fingers crossed, it doesn't seem like he's hurt this year. And he ranks number 1 on my course fit because he just does well in these Nicklaus courses. So I like Jason Day, where he's not going to rank out that well, but I do think he's a strong pivot from, Rose, Zalatoris, and Neiman. I think he'll be half the ownership of them.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I'm not going there. He doesn't burn me or anything, but it's people just don't play him anymore. No. And it's just like a Rose right there. You mentioned in your content that Harris English is probably going to be chalky. I mean, in my opinion, we've talked about.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's very fair. He's very cheap, right?
Makes sense.
I think you're kind of breaking up there, Sam. But anyways,
I mean, why is he 7,500?
Yeah, he's cheap. However, my thoughts are the same thing I've said the last few weeks. I understand that he's cheap. Looking at your projections model, your projections portal at dfskarma.com makes all the sense in the world. But there's no way, if I'm making one lineup this week, there's no way I'm touching the Harris English if he's projected owned what you're projecting him to be owned at. I don't want anything to do with it. I'd rather have these other guys around there, above our boy Carlos Ortiz is probably going to be low owned. I mean, Ryan Palmer's probably going to get traction. Wolf, I mean, is he going to be owned? I mean, talk about a guy who can score at will.
I don't think anyone's going to. Dude, Wolf just does not see. He just is not consistent. I feel like he has a round where he plays pretty well, and then he plays decent. And then one round, I think it was last week of Friday, he shoots 78. I don't really know.
Put it like this: I'd rather in freaking Billy Horschel than Harris English this week, just because there's not much of a difference of the player.
I almost wrote up Billy Horschel. I think I'm gonna play him, and I'm not gonna play my main lineup.
Bermuda, bro.
He is such a good Bermuda putter.
Yeah,
he's such a good Bermuda putter, but dude, his stats are so bad. They're so bad. He's losing approach every week.
Plays so bad, and then he goes to an environment he likes, like you're saying, Bermuda, and then bam, he's back. I mean, that's the history of Billy Ho. He's pretty open about it too. I mean, he loves being on Bermuda. I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah, he just does. I mean, instead of Palmer, I'd rather take a shot on that Euro kid who's sick, Robert McIntyre. He's really good. I like Christian Bezenhout, that guy, that long ass name. He's pretty solid, and he's done decently in the U.S. So he doesn't hit it very far, but I don't think that should matter too much here. I mean, obviously distance always helps, but I don't think he's gonna be owned. I like him, but I kind of like your Kokrak take. I mean, he really well. 3.5 out of 4 rounds last week? Call it. I mean, he was.
His stats don't look good, but take it out the window because of the wins and stuff. I mean, Kokrak's
pretty solid.
He's a bomber, right? He's gonna score. These are the guys I want this week. Especially those par 4s that are technically reachable. Kokrak's the type of guy that can get there too. I love the Bezenhout call. I mean, at the end of the day, not to make some of our boys like Blake and some of the other guys in our chat need to laugh out loud right now, but you just gotta man up, grab your nutsack and make some plays like Victor Perez, like Bezenhout, is Lanto Griffin going to be owned? I mean, even if he's 5%, I mean, who else is down here? Andy Sullivan. I mean, nobody's going to play these guys. I mean, in my opinion, just force yourself to play a couple of these guys we're talking about. They'll be 5% owned, if that. You need some leverage. There's no cut. this is a great week to trial these type of theories that you may be apprehensive to make your main lineups with, right? Like, it doesn't matter. They can't miss the cut. Force yourself to make uncomfortable plays. Pick these guys with names you've never heard of. You don't know who they are. And then when they blow up, you can yell at Sam and I in the chat room.
The only thing I'll say is the only two guys down here, Brennan Todd, I hate playing him, but like all he does is putt well in Bermuda and get up and down. That's like his game, but he could be popular. And then I didn't even notice it. Matt Kuchar is 6,400.
I saw that.
Interesting.
Matt Kuchar, he's just sitting there. I'd rather have Kuchar over Brennan Todd for what it's worth.
I would too. I hate Brennan Todd. It's just crazy. Like Eric Van Rooyen, like what's happened to him? 6,200. He used to be like 8.
Dude, you took my guy. I was going to talk about him, but real quick, Abraham Answer. Let's just address it. He's probably going to be really owned. I actually like that play.
Yep.
I'm not opposed to fading all chalky guys. Like, he's a guy that, like, I'm like, okay, 6,800 for Answer. He's going to put the ball in play. He scores. He's usually has pretty good opportunities. If the putter, I feel like he's worth the price, right? Like, you can make a case for at least some of these guys.
I think
you just don't want all chalk.
I think there's sometimes like you don't want to eat this terrible chalk like in a full field event, but like Answer 6,800, but he should probably be like mid 7s. So I don't if I played him at 15%, I don't feel like I'm playing horrendous. Like I don't know. I do feel like Ryan Palmer is bad chalk, dude. There's so much water. He's gonna find all of it.
I agree. It's funny you do bring up Eric Van Rooyen, not to like put a staple on him, but I was looking at him when I saw him 6,200. I don't remember the tournament in Minnesota. I don't know if that was like mid 2020. This whole last year with COVID has been a blur. But you remember when he was like 9,500 and he was mega chalk? I know the field's different, but it's funny when you think about these type of things. It's like, dude, just 6 months ago, this guy was one of the top plays of a couple slates in a row. Yes, he's not a great player, but 6,200 in a no-cut event. The guy is not the worst ball striker in the world. I'll tell you that right now. And he does sometimes get hot. I don't know. Why not? 6,200? Who freaking cares? It's a no-cut event. I like that you brought him up because I was going to bring him up. So is there anyone else you're looking at like down below? That's pretty much it on my end.
I'll play Munoz just because I always play Munoz.
Talk about Munoz. Is he going to be freaking popular? Like, what's the deal?
No, he's playing poorly enough where he's not going to be popular.
Yeah.
I think like it's funny.
I'm considering him for sure.
Yeah. Like, that there will be a couple guys who just kind of go out of nowhere. I'm sure it'll be not like, not all of them, but there will be probably 1 or 2 Euro guys. Thomas Detry, I heard someone making comparison. It's funny. He's kind of like the European Tour version of like Finau. He like hits the ball a mile and doesn't really win, but he like has a good game everywhere else. That guy wrote up.
How about your guy you wrote up, Hogard?
Yeah, he's good. He kind of does like everything just pretty well. And I think he's one of those guys where, I could see him easily being 100 over and whatever being last, but at the same time, like he's not going to be owned and he's pretty consistent. He has good Euro stats. Doing it or like not bad fields. Like one of them was the Saudi field where DJ won. Fields. The other one was where Hatton won. Like he's not playing against total scrubs, so I don't mind him. Burn Wiesfer because no one ever plays Kevin Na.
All right, I'm gonna end the pod there, Sam. You're very staticky, but I think we made it through without until the very end there. And I'll just ask you the last question. Besides the freaking Roms of the world, I don't know if you even put your bets in Bet Karma. Who is winning this damn tournament this week? I think we lost him. Oh, he's there.
I think it's going to be Morikawa.
I like that. It's fairly valued.
Yeah. Morikawa or something.
I'm going right back to the well with my boy Finau. 18 or 20 to 1, depending on the book.
No.
Hopefully he comes through for once, but he did change his putting stroke for what it's worth. So that does it, everybody. Again, you can, as always, find all of our content, the premium picks, core plays, the whole shebang, the chat room, dfskarma.com. Click subscription, same thing. You can go premium at betkarma.com. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.